Is 29 too old to live with my parents? I am not married, no kids, I pay my bills. I stay in my lane and don't add any extra stress for my parents, although I do live here rent-free. I've been judged for still living at home. While I'm not planning on retiring here, and I will make my own way at some point, I'm harshly judged under the comments of me mooching off my parents, which I'm not. Like I could afford a house ATM. How do your parents feel about it? Are you saving? If your parents are cool with it, you're saving money. And you're happy. Who TF cares if internet people or people who aren't you, who have no skin in the game of your life, matter? Woman shrugging, medium dark skin tone. It's a cultural thing. In my culture, staying with your parents until you're married, often into your 30s, is completely normal. In America, it's very much pushed that you should leave home the second you're 18. There is no right answer. In my culture, that's normal. You live at home until you get married. For Mexican standards, hola, paisa. That's not unusual. Millennials and younger have adopted the Western standards, moving out of parents' house in early 20s, but I think they're not very connected with the Mexican reality. Maybe they're overexposed to US European mass media. In this economy, I'm 28, $62,000 salary, zero debt as I just paid off $20,000 in student loans. Moving out is not even an option for me. And I don't know if when it ever will be. I don't let anyone's opinions make me feel bad about my situation. I've done everything right according to the American standard. You're not alone. No. Fuck morons that go waste money on insanely higher rent just to prove a point to people that don't care. My mom is 49, and we live with grandma. I live in my parents' house where I was born and they don't make me pay rent. Hooray is such a wild sentence to me as an European. 20 years ago I'd say it'd be about time to put more effort into moving on. But in these late-stage capitalism days where half of all people can't make rent, nobody can blame you for staying put. Not damn thing wrong with it. Capitalist culture bullied everyone into splitting up the multi-generational household. If it works for everyone, then keep on keeping on. I couldn't do it, personally, as my parents were always uncomfortable with my late-night weed-smoking lifestyle, but that's just me. It would also get awkward if I wanted to have sex in my room. In America, it's no longer feasible to move out alone. If you want roommates, do that. But there is no shame in living with your parents. Anyone who shames you for it, I would ask how they would move out in your situation. Only questions for me that could lead to judgment are if you aren't pursuing any job, not helping with bills, and actually mooching. Otherwise, it's no one's business. Those people are just jealous and envious. Probably unhappy with having to pay $2,000 month on rent or $24,000 year, which you get to keep and blow on vacations or cars if you wish. If your parents are cool with it, it's fine. If every morning when they see you they say things like, you know, I saw a nice apartment downtown, going pretty cheap, or Jesus, you still live here, then it's not so fine. Thing is, it's more about how you live with your parents than whether. Are you an active member of the household? Do you make your parents' lives easier by being there? Do you pay your bills? If so, then that's fine. I think what people judge is when adults make more work for their parents by just costing them money and not contributing to the upkeep of the home. My husband was that age and still living with his parents when we started dating. He got no judgment from me. If I hadn't been lucky enough to have a best friend to share an apartment with, I'd be in the same boat. Times are rough and money is tight. I think this is cultural. In some cultures this is pretty normal. In Canada, if you didn't belong to one of those cultures, it would be weird. If you're a man, women might be nervous dating a man who has never lived alone or at least with roommates. She's going to want to see your apartment, how clean you keep it, are you doing dishes, laundry, etc. A woman does not want to end up being your maid. I'm 30 living at home. I can't exactly impress any girls with that. But I'm saving a lot of money and am current deciding whether to move to a big city to bartend or just buy a house. I was in and out from age 20-35. When I met my husband, my parents eschewed the American tradition of adult kids are automatically out. I cooked. I cleaned. I got groceries. I got a PhD. I worked full time. As long as I wasn't sitting around doing nothing, it wasn't a problem. I have a great relationship with them. And my husband and I even bought their house when they were ready to move. If everyone is happy, no one else should judge. Not bad at all, in fact it shows you are smart. I'd welcome the company. I'm a parent alone in a very big house to my kids. Please come back. No rent. No utilities. I'm from Spain and here we say, live off your parents until you can live off your children. OMG, I don't blame you. Times are tough for everyone. No one has the right to judge. People gonna judge. Especially cultures as ours is one where people get kicked out as soon as they turn 18. A parent should always be there for their kid. And one day you should be there for them. So as long as you all chilling together, there's no issue. There's no real too late, but there is a too early. And if you feel like as of RN it's too early to move out, then feel no pressure. And move only when you will actually feel and be ready. It might be awkward if you're trying to seriously date. But outside of that, there's nothing wrong with it. Dude, why would it be too old? Tell me. So while our generation can barely afford housing and corporations keep getting FCK richer by the day, who is anyone to judge your situation? If you want to live there, do it. You want to live in a tent, do it. Whatever makes you happy you should do, and fuck all these other people. I'm 35 and live in a studio behind my mother's house. You have a place to call home. You have contact with your family. You pay your bills and earn your keep. There's nothing wrong with lying as you do. As long as you're not sucking them dry, making them pay for you, and mooching. It's not an issue. As long as your parents are fine with it and you're pulling your weight. Don't worry about it. Do you make enough at your job to move out? If the answer is no, then anyone who's got a problem with it can feel free to contribute to your moving out fund or shut the fuck up, lol. No. And people who act like you are they're morons. If your parents own the home, why would you pay rent? Honestly, fuck 'em. It's not smart to rent a place by yourself anymore, and why not save the money? My mom and I share a house too. Save some money. Enjoy your time with them, they won't always be there. It's nobody's business if you live with your parents or an orangutan. Who's laughing when you've saved some money and aren't poor in the future? It's acceptable in other cultures. My POV on this is Asian-based, BC, in part Asian, and live in a state with a lot of Asian mixed cultures. If yours parents don't feel the need to ask you for rent and you pay for your own shit and don't make a mess, then to me it's fine and not weird at all. If your parents are cool with it, isn't that all that matters?